And now, HBO Sports presents Boxing After Dark.
The following is a presentation of HBO Sports.
We're at Palms Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada for a Boxing After Dark doubleheader in the welterweight division. First, we take you back to last Saturday night's epic showdown between Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito, which more than lived up to its expectations. Then in our live fight, two New Yorkers square off as Brooklyn native Zab Judah takes on Joshua Clottey of the Bronx. Hello again, everyone. So glad you can join us for HBO's Boxing After Dark. I'm Bob Papa. What a night we have for you in the welterweight division. Of course, we'll bring you the rebroadcast of Cotto Margarito, and we have a great fight for you live here in Las Vegas. It's a welterweight showdown. Former undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Zab Judah, steps into the ring against Joshua Clottey. 12-round welterweight showdown. You know, you could tell that both of these guys are ready to go. Clottey has kind of gotten under Judah's skin in the run-up to this fight. Zab is coming in unbelievable condition. He recently relocated here to Nevada. He weighed in at 143 pounds. You can see he hasn't been spending his summer at the beach. He says, I've been in the gym every single day. That's coming up in our live fight. But first, we take a look back at last week's unbelievable matchup between undefeated Miguel Cotto and Antonio Margarito for what many are saying is for the welterweight championship of the world, the best in the division. And these two went at it toe-to-toe. It was a battle royale from start to finish with many ebbs and flows. Cotto getting the early edge, but Margarito using that power and wearing down Miguel Cotto as the fight wore on. Now, we're scheduled to be joined here at ringside after we bring you the rebroadcast of the fight by Antonio Margarito. He'll talk about that night and what's next in his career. But it's time to take you back 1 week ago. Antonio Margarito, Miguel Cotto. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for these two as they got ready to step into the ring. Cotto at 27 years of age. Margarito 3 inches taller. Both fighters no problem making the weight at 147 pounds. Time for the call with Jim Lampley, Max Kellerman, and Emmanuel Stewart.
Okay, Trunk's okay here. Trunk's okay here. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution to keep the fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, Bruno Suarte. Touch him up.
This is the reason to love boxing. No moment in sport matches this.
A breathtaking moment of suspense. It took a long time to clear a crowded ring. Many believe that Margarito will try to jump Cotto from the beginning and use his bigger, stronger body to put pressure on the Puerto Rican fighter. Cotto seems ready for that. Both fighters using the jab early on.
One of the things that impressed me being in the opposite corner against Margarito, his defense is much, much better than is appreciated.
Since he got his career rolling, Antonio Margarito has never lost to a shorter man. But Miguel Cotto has stared down taller opponents before. Early on, it's Cotto who's the more accurate puncher. He's landed his jab a couple of times and landed a good left hook. Now there's an uppercut from Margarito. And the first minute produces more of a boxing match than some expected, and Cotto confidently steps inside and whips the left hook again. Margarito coming forward behind the jab.
Margarito's giving Cotto a lot of respect in this first round.
Yeah, I think he's fighting very, very smart. I think Margarito's fighting a very good fight. He's catching punches, and his jab is being very effective, too. He's not as flashy, but his jab is still very effective.
Good left hand by Cotto. Both fighters have had some offensive moments. Cotto lands the right hand and holds it up for the crowd to see. Miguel Cotto looks very sharp, very quick in the early going. Another left hook. Margarito lands his own left simultaneously. Flurry by Cotto. Margarito looking for opportunities, but putting space between the punches. Now the left uppercut from Margarito. And he steps in the corner and fires away. Cotto calmly fights his way out, switches southpaw. Good job slipping the right hand there. And another combination. Now a Margarito combination. And Cotto counters perfectly. Terrific left hooks by Cotto. Margarito misses the uppercut. It's been a very precise first 2.5 minutes. Both men boxing. Cotto goes to the body first.
Keep him up.
Kenny Bayless says keep him up. Cotto says they were right on the belt line. A skillful first round, but at the end of the day, it appeared Cotto has had more moments than Margarito.
Use your jab, use your jab. Jab, the right hand, and then the uppercut. And be careful with the counter punch. That's what he's using. He's using the counter punch, but be more intelligent. Be focused. Focused on what he's doing, because he can do the jab. Careful with his elbows. Careful with his elbows, because he puts them in. Very, very nice first round. All right, let's do the same thing.
Here we see what may have been the cleanest punches of the whole round. Even though a lot of punches were thrown, the right hand and left hand right between the gloves by Cotto, I think, was the best clean punches that landed during that round.
CompuBox numbers pretty one-sided. Margarito 12 out of 57. Cotto 32 out of 70.
That's
a stunning statistical round.
That's the round I saw. I thought Cotto fairly dominated the round with his boxing skill.
Well, I think that's the way that most boxing experts expected the first round to go, even the guys who picked Margarito. Because Cotto is a much better boxer, much faster, much more crisper puncher. But what's going to happen after about 4 or 5 rounds is really what's the big question.
Margarito starts to smoke, and then we'll find what's what.
I'm just surprised that Margarito hasn't tried to produce more pressure early on. If Antonio Margarito only throws 57 punches in a round, that's a slow round for him. He's showing tremendous respect for Cotto's skill and speed. Cotto sticking his jab right between Margarito's gloves. Margarito reaching, lunging, hasn't really found the timing to land repeated combinations yet. Now he gets in a wide right hand on the cheek of Cotto.
The drama here is also Margarito's such a good puncher, and Cotto has been on the canvas and rocked before.
Now Margarito gets the space he wants and eats an uppercut for his trouble and smiles at Cotto as if to say, all right, now we're fighting.
Watch your heads, watch your heads.
Kenny Bayless says, watch your heads. They're landing with their hands.
But Cotto's going, but Margarito is really putting a lot of pressure on him, unlike any he's ever had. And pressure from a taller fighter is different than from a shorter fighter.
And Margarito landed an excellent right hand about 10 seconds ago.
But see, right here, Margarito's walking him down again. He's not letting him get that space. He's taking his space from him.
Cotto Cotto's still patiently hunting for the counter-punching opportunities. Margarito is starting to develop the volume which has typified his career. Cotto pounding him with repeated left hooks. Both fighters have said hello in round 2. Margarito hammering Cotto to the body in the corner.
I figured this would get to this about the 4th round. It's happening earlier because Cotto cannot merely just outbox this man. The man picks most of the punches off.
No,
he's going to have to fight it.
Cotto with 2 good left hooks upstairs. Margarito drives him back with a right hand.
Unbelievable. They took a round to warm up.
And this is the fight that everyone expected to see.
Indeed.
There's blood coming from the nose of Miguel Cotto. So Margarito's made his mark in terms of drawn blood. And the Mexican fans in the crowd love that. Cotto chopping and chopping with the left hand. Margarito firing with the right. It's a punch, counter punch, confrontation. What a round, round 2 has been.
Wow.
Most of the crowd of 12,500 stood up to applaud that round.
Okay. Espera. No, es la sangre de acá. Okay.
Where's the blood from? Okay, it's okay. Not a problem. Breathe deeply. He's going good? All right. Little water now. Throw it out. He's going to want to do everything. He's going to go through headbutts. Keep your distance. Keep your distance.
Here you see Cotto landing beautiful clean shots. He's landing most of the clean, effective punches, fighting off the ropes very effectively. But how long can he keep going if Margarito takes those type punches and keep putting that pressure on him? That's the question.
CompuBox numbers in round 2 were spectacular. Cotto 35 out of 80. Margarito 33 out of 96. Together they landed 54 power shots. So it has suddenly become the gunfight that everyone anticipated. Now let's see if Cotto can begin to make it more of a boxing match again. Cotto trying to use his feet, create space, and limit the volume of Margarito's punches. Margarito trying to crowd Cotto into the corners and against the ropes where he can fire away at will. Cotto counters off the ropes with the left hook. A pattern that begins to repeat throughout the fight. Combination punching from Cotto. And he backs away again. Right hand and a left uppercut for Cotto. Margarito landed a right hand. Now they go back to the phone booth again. Cotto lands 2 body shots and a left hook upstairs. Margarito reaching with a left and with 2 body shots of his own. Hard right hand over the top for Margarito. Cotto with a right and a left inside. Again, they trade body shots. Cotto's was the harder blow. What a variety of punches from Cotto in that combination. Margarito just keeps coming. Body shot, 2 uppercuts, chopping right hand. Cotto comes back with 3 punches of his own.
I think Margarito right now, his defense is doing very well. He's catching a lot of punches and steadily applying pressure all while he's blocking punches. Even though I have Cotto winning, it looks pretty rough going down the stretch.
Good left hand by Cotto, creates space again.
We've seen fights this year like Marquez Vasquez, but it's not at this size. These are regular sized guys.
You got to keep him up, okay?
A warning for Margarito for a low blow. He hit Cotto right on the hip.
It's just unreal for welterweights of this size to be trading these kind of shots in a sustained way like this.
We promised violence. You're getting violence.
And so far, it's it's playing out the way most envisioned. Margarito chasing Cotto around the perimeter of the ring. Cotto's superior boxing ability giving him the advantage, but Margarito very live. And as the fight wears on, he gets busier and busier and increasingly dangerous.
Every time Cotto plants his feet, they trade shots. Every time Margarito lands a punch, Cotto counters, sometimes with two.
Don't be overconfident. Don't be overconfident. No time. Water on his head. Everything's okay. I'm doing good. Don't be overconfident. Okay. Okay. No. Forget the hitting. See a little bit in the face?
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You have there's no reason to be on the inside. Put your hands on the inside and get out.
This right here is consistent of the pattern of the fight. Margarito very aggressively coming in, but Cotto landing the clean precision punches and steadily moving away after that to avoid getting caught in any exchanges.
Average in jabs per round through the first 3 rounds, according to CompuBox. Cotto 9 of 26. Margarito not as accurate with his jab, only landing 3 out of 32 per round. Our first chance to check in with our unofficial scorer, Harold Letterman. How do you have it through 2?
2 rounds to 1. 29-28, Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto did a nice job in round 1. He won that. In round 2, Antonio Margarito got him up against the ropes, got real good leverage and got his shots off. But in round 3, Miguel Cotto kept moving to the left, and he was just out punching him whenever he stopped. But be as it may, I don't think Antonio Margarito is doing a great job cutting off that ring. What he's doing is he's chasing him. He ought to step to his right and whack him. Be as it may, 2-1, Miguel Cotto.
Trade uppercuts, and it's Margarito whose head pops up.
Question if the fight continues like this is, can Cotto sustain this pace? Margarito typically gets stronger as the fight wears on.
Absolutely. That's my biggest concern if I was in Cotto's corner. I know I have the better fighter, but can he sustain this pace for 12 rounds? Margarito's putting a lot of pressure on him, and Margarito's defense is a lot better than the public is giving credit for.
Miguel Cotto hasn't exactly faded in the late rounds in fights against guys like Judah and Mosley. I think it's fairly audacious, guys, for you to question whether Miguel Cotto can finish. But, of course, Margarito is a unique pressure fighter.
He's a big man, and it's a different thing. And he throws punches from all angles. He bangs you on your shoulders, your elbows, your head. He's throwing a lot of punches from different angles.
And just the psychological pressure Margarito exerts by constantly coming forward.
And taking your best punch sometimes.
And having such a rock-solid chin.
He's shown his chin, that's for sure. Cotto has landed some solid shots like that straight right hand. Margarito is walking through Cotto's best firepower.
Yes, he is. Cotto is winning the fight, but he's going to have to be prepared to go 12 rounds like this. And that's going to be very, very difficult.
Well, most who favored Cotto favored him on points.
And he does seem to show that he can outbox Margarito most of the way.
No doubt about it.
Cotto is putting on quite a display of skill. Margarito is putting on an equally impressive display of will. Body shots by Antonio. Cotto may regret having stopped in a corner, but now he comes back with a hard right hand and a left hook and an uppercut. 3 clean shots. Another left hook for Cotto. Down the stretch of round 4, it was Miguel Cotto who scored.
Breathe with me. Good. Let me work the eye. Breathe again. He's frustrated already. He's already frustrated. Use the attack. The inside on the outside. You've got to work him. You've got to throw punches. Throw punches and connect. Don't let him build.
You see Margarito's pressures. He's throwing a lot of different punches at Cotto. And the thing about it, his punches come from different angles. He doesn't throw the same punch over and over. Beautiful short right hand right there. But Cotto is such a sharp precision puncher. He comes right back and catches him at the end of the round. Beautiful short left hook.
Round 5 begins. CompuBox count in round 4 had Cotto landing 23 of 67 to 15 of 86 for Margarito. A much higher percentage for Cotto, built on his 9 out of 29 jabs. Once again, Cotto starts the action in round 5. Then begins circling to his left again. He's circling away from Margarito's left hook into Margarito's right hand. As Harold Letterman pointed out, and you wonder when Margarito will step over to the right and try to begin cutting off the ring. Margarito keeps leaving himself open to Miguel Cotto's left hand. A lot of Miguel Cotto's good shots have been the left hook and the jab.
But dude, Cotto is really a southpaw. He's left-handed. That's why his power punch is his left jab and his hook. But Margarito, who is a little bit slower, but he punches good with both hands, even though he's a little slower.
Margarito able to find Cotto with the right hand there. Now lands a roundhouse right. Cotto stands and fights again, then moves away. Cotto holding his gloves very high in this round, guarding his head. Uppercut by Cotto stops Margarito in his tracks, and he moves away again. Good block there by Cotto. Cotto having to use his feet over and over and over under relentless pressure from Antonio Margarito.
Margarito's got him sliding along the ropes most of the fight now. He's keeping him fighting off of the ropes, and that's not good.
Margarito also appears to be getting a little closer with those right hands.
Closer and closer. That's right. Because a tall guy that shoots a right hand over your shoulder that's not too wide can catch you, especially when you get tired.
When they stand still and trade, Cotto lands more punches.
Oh, he's definitely.
But he doesn't want to do it much. He wants to keep moving away. Body shot by Margarito. Cotto momentarily moves to his right. Steps up, fires 2 left hands, then moves away again. Cotto having to use his feet to limit the pressure over and over. Margarito dancing with it, trying to cut him off. Cotto lands a left hook and moves away again. Another straight left hand lands for Cotto. Margarito frustrated as he looks for opportunities.
Very frustrated. And Cotto realizes he's winning the fight, but he's got 6 or 7 more rounds of going at this pace. If he can do that, he can win the fight. But if he can't, he's going to have a big problem.
But the cleaner punches belong to Miguel Cotto. He tends to win the flurries.
And this is what makes him, depending on what kind of judge you are. A lot of judges like the guy going forward.
2 hard right hands first. Margarito. Cotto comes back with a left. Eats another right hand. Ducks 3 right hands in a row.
But if you go by clean punches, Cotto's winning almost every round.
You're waiting too much. You're waiting too much. With your mouth open. Come on, go. Cut his exits. Cut his exits. Use the jab. Use the right hand. Come on, move your head. I told you already. Come on, man. You start moving on the inside. You're looking for just one punch. Don't look for just one punch. What happened? Everything's okay. Everything's okay.
August 6th, it's the premiere of Hard Knocks training camp with the Dallas Cowboys. Follow America's team for 5 weeks as the stories, dramas, and controversies of training camp play out in front of the cameras. August 26th, on the next Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel, a look at how Donald Trump is fighting opposition to his plans to build a new golf course on the pristine dunes along the Scottish coastline.
Perfect.
Let's go, let's go.
CompuBox numbers in the 5th round. Cotto 14 of 25 power shots, 56%, 15 of 34 jabs. Overall, 29 of 59. Margarito threw 105 punches, but landed only 20% of them. Cotto wins the round again on Harold Letterman's scorecard and starts to build a working margin there.
We were expecting a classic, and what we have so far is a classic performance by Miguel Cotto. But the fight does give you the sense, especially when Cotto drops his hands as he did at the end of the last round, to avoid punches, that it could turn on a dime with Margarito's pressure and power punching.
And you heard Leon Capetillo, Margarito's trainer and father figure, asking him to speed up. Come on, get in harder and throw more shots. He only threw 105 punches in the last round. Javier Capetillo, excuse me.
And here Margarito.
Low by Margarito, and he got away with it.
But here he picks up where he left off at the end of the last round, at least throwing more punches and landing some with force, even when they don't land cleanly.
And Cotto comes back with 2 solid uppercuts and backs away again. As long as Cotto can show the judges that he lands the cleaner punches, he can probably get away with being the constant retreater. If Margarito begins to land more, then the fact that he's going forward and applying all the pressure may augur in his favor. Another brilliant rally by Cotto, and he moves away. And another big uppercut.
It's interesting that one guy is putting all of the pressure on, and another guy was retreating, as you say, but landing the really clean, effective punches. So this fight could be judged anyway. But anyway, I feel Cotto's definitely won almost every round virtually, but there have been very tough competitive rounds, and the momentum seems to be moving towards Margarito, though.
I showed you his skill right there. Shouldering Margarito off and landing a clean right hand. Picking his spot there and landing a left hook. Margarito firing, firing, firing. Not as accurate, not as sharp, but constantly keeping the pressure off. 1 minute to go in round 6. Cotto with another one of his flurries. And another uppercut. Margarito misses with the right hand as Cotto steps away. Through most of his career, Miguel Cotto has used his feet to put pressure on opposing fighters. Tonight he's trying to use his feet to keep pressure off. It's a classic reversal. And now Margarito throws all the shots as Cotto looks for space.
Yeah, right away. As soon as he lands that flurry, Margarito's running him down again. And that's very discouraging to any fighter.
Hard right hand by Cotto. And a good left hook. Margarito fires away to the body 3 times.
I think Cotto's actually dominating this round again. But Margarito is really making him pay a price in this round with those body shots.
Cotto blocked most of those and then slipped the others. But it looks to the crowd as though Margarito is putting all the pressure on. Tremendous combat in the 6th.
And we are back live in Las Vegas at the Palms on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Still to come, our live fight. Zab Judah has moved from the East Coast to Las Vegas. He is in tip-top shape, says he's ready for his best performance of his career. He's got his team with him going through some final preparations as he gets ready to step into the ring tonight against Joshua Clottey. Clottey, who hails from Ghana, fighting out of the Bronx in New York City, part of the famed God Tribe that included the likes of Azuma Nelson, Ike Corte, and Ben Taki, ready for the best performance of his career. He and Judah with some bad blood leading up to this fight. They'll settle it in the ring. Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey. 12 rounds coming up live here on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Now back to Cotto Margarito.
Breathe deeply, breathe deeply. Let's see. Open the mouth.
Muy bien.
Doing very good. Don't stay against the ropes too long. Get on the out. Get outside. Move. Come on, son. You're inside. Throw the hook.
Here you see Margarito putting on a tremendous amount of pressure, but he's paying the price. As he's coming in, applying the pressure, momentum may be going in his direction, but the clean punches are landed by Cotto.
Power shots in round 6. Miguel Cotto 20 out of 44. Antonio Margarito threw 75 power shots, but landed 22 of them. So the much higher connect percentage for Cotto. And Harold Letterman, how do you have it halfway through?
Okay, Jim, 58, 56, 4 rounds to 2. Miguel Cotto. Jim, Miguel Cotto is boxing a beautiful fight. Winning this fight at clean punching and ring generalship. But in round 6, Antonio Margarito figured the only way to get to this guy is to slow him up with body shots. And I thought he whacked real well to the body to win that round. I've got it 4-2 total. But Jim, Davis has got to let Margarito fight inside. Otherwise, Margarito don't have a chance.
Certainly Margarito, Emmanuel, as you mentioned, changed the momentum in the last round.
The momentum to me is going to Margarito, even though he may be losing the fight. But he's getting closer and closer. He's landing his punches, and he's working that shot I told you about up through the center very effectively now, the left uppercut. You see that? There it is again.
This is the first round where I feel that Margarito is fighting on even terms with Cotto.
So even if I would be in Cotto's corner, I would be really
hurt, guys.
Cotto's badly hurt by a series of Margarito uppercuts. They hammered him. Margarito goes right back to the left-hand uppercuts. Cotto is in trouble along the ropes. Biggest trouble he's been in since the Ricardo Torres fight several years ago. Margarito stalking and stalking.
And this ain't Ricardo Torres.
Cotto's looking for breathing room, and there is none. He has to fight his way out for breathing room. He gets hit by a hard right hand. Margarito throwing uppercut after uppercut. He might launch 120 punches in the round. Cotto turns southpaw, hits Margarito with a left hand and backs away. Miguel Cotto blowing blood out of his nose and his mouth after that violent assault by Antonio Margarito.
I think we're seeing the effects of that body work that Harold was talking about in the last round.
And now a series of clean punches for Cotto. And another left hook gives him breathing room to back away. Cotto blocking most of these, but under severe pressure as he does so. Switches southpaw again. Hits Margarito in the mouth with the left hand. Margarito with an unbelievable chin just keeps coming. It's that amazing Margarito beard that's putting a lot of pressure on Miguel Cotto. Miguel just can't hurt him.
Jim, this is exactly the way I figured the fight was going to go.
Now we have our classic.
But you know, Cotto has showed his grit. Cotto has been in these situations similar to some degree, but never with a big man like this. And that's what
just shots by Cotto. A hard right hand by Margarito, and he lands another uppercut. Cotto trying to get a rest. What a round.
How you feeling? Okay. Put your hands in, power shots. Pop it. Get off the ropes. Get off the ropes.
Here you see Margarito relying, putting on tremendous pressure, throwing so many punches, and all of them are powerful, particularly the left uppercuts, which I predicted would be his best punch in this. But right now, Cotto's having a problem because all of those, such as the short left hook, it was just a matter of so many punches coming from so many angles.
Antonio Margarito has legendary stamina. He enhanced that credential in that round, throwing 130 punches, landing 48 of them, 46 of 104 power shots. Cotto landed 23 of 52, and some of them were hellacious punches, but Margarito is walking right through them.
It's a lot of guys who have those big volume of punches, but usually they're guys who don't have much punching power. Margarito is one of the few guys that throws a lot of punches and has power almost in every punch.
Two good jabs for Cotto. He's going to have to try to find a way to make it more of a boxing match again. Through 7 rounds, Antonio Margarito has already thrown more power punches against Miguel Cotto than any opponent had ever managed in any fight in 32 previous professional fights up to now.
Well, we know Cotto has showed his grit before. That's one thing I admire. He's been a true warrior. He's been in bad shape a lot of times, and he's came back and not just survived but one fight. So you can't never count him out. But he's never been able to get a figure this big, though.
He's facing epic pressure tonight. Antonio Margarito is bringing the frustrations and the impatience of a long career of waiting to this moment against Miguel Cotto, leaving nothing to chance. Constantly releasing his hands in bunches.
You know, not only is Cotto the better boxer, I think he's the heavier puncher, but he doesn't take the shots as well as Margarito.
Who does?
That's a good point, man.
Who does? Cotto's landing thudding blows, and Margarito is stepping right through them and dancing forward.
He's moving in with his little jig. He's just as happy like he enjoys the situation. and he can't get to Cotto fast enough.
Cotto's done a good job of sort of getting the genie back into the bottle in this round. He's limiting Margarito's flow with his footwork and the southpaw stance that he turns to from time to time. Hasn't been trapped as often as he was in the last round. But it still is Margarito pressuring. Cotto lands a combination and a big uppercut and steps away.
That right hand from Margarito keeps coming up just a little short, but it's getting closer and closer.
Margarito reaching with the right hand there as Cotto uncharacteristically moved to his right. Miguel dodging, trying to slip punches. Margarito just throwing and throwing when they get close. This was a round in which Miguel Cotto seemed to want to regain his equilibrium and a mental foothold in the fight. And he may have it back as we go to the ninth.
Súbeme el balde.
Get the pail up.
Ok, ponlo aquí.
All right, put it there.
Mete la cabeza allá.
Put your head in.
Vamos, Junito, en el medio te quiero, en el medio.
Con el jab, los limpias.
Just with the jab, then you hook him. He's tired. How are we going? We're going good. I think we're winning. I think we're winning, but don't be overconfident. Okay.
Power shots in 8, according to copy box numbers. Cotto 14 out of 33, Margarito 20 out of 59. You heard Javier Capetillo saying to Margarito, I think we're winning. On Harold Letterman's scorecard, the fight is now even through 8 rounds. What a drama we might be looking at in the last 4 rounds.
Jim, I have Cotto up a couple points, but it seems to me that Cotto wants this fight to end. He wishes it was over already, whereas Margarito thinks the fight is just beginning. That Cotto, in a weird way, is in survival mode, wants to run out the clock.
I would agree with you on that, Max. I think that I would maybe have possibly Cotto still ahead, possibly, because you all get excited about the last rounds and the most exciting. But still, Cotto had a lot of rounds in the bank. But it's the momentum of the fight and who seems to be comfortable with the situation.
And even as
can't
Cotto
run out the clock against Antonio Margarito.
And even as Cotto does what he just did, which was land a series of unanswered punches, it still is he who gives you the sense that he's shaky.
Cotto sitting on the middle rope as Margarito fired away with a bunch of punches again.
And the next stop from middle rope is the floor. It's the next place he'll be sitting at if he don't do something soon.
The fact is, Margarito landed nothing big in the last round and hasn't landed anything big so far in this round. Cotto continues to land the sharper, cleaner punches when he lands. But he's backing away. He's bleeding from the mouth and the nose. He looks tireder than Margarito. All the mental impressions augur in favor of the Mexican star. Again, Cotto switches southpaw, lands a couple shots and backs away. Still the more accurate puncher. Simply not throwing nearly as many. Margarito starts to land again. Cotto ducking and slipping and firing back.
And still landing clean, crisp, heavy shots to the head with both hands.
Just like that. 2 good left hooks from Cotto as Margarito continued to try to apply a welter of punches, but without big effect. Body shot landed from Margarito. His best strategy is to keep going to the body. Good left hook by Miguel Cotto, and he backs away.
Hold on, stop.
This is a hard round for judges to score. Margarito's applied all the pressure. Cotto clearly landed the more effective blows.
And we are back live at the Palms in Las Vegas, getting set for our live bout this evening, a welterweight showdown, and hope you're enjoying Antonio Margarito and Miguel Cotto. Speaking of Antonio Margarito, he is here tonight with his wife, Michelle. We will talk with Antonio Margarito immediately following the Cotto Margarito rebroadcast. He wants to get a bird's eye view of two welterweights who could be in his future. Zab Judah, the former undisputed welterweight champion of the world, 36-5 with 25 knockouts, going through some final preparations in his locker room, 30 years of age, now living here in Las Vegas, born and raised in Brooklyn, New York City. Joshua Clottey also getting ready to take center stage tonight. Margarito's seen Clottey before. They fought in December of 2006 with Margarito winning a 12-round decision. That's still coming up live here on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Joshua Clottey and Zab Judah in a 12-round showdown. But now back to Margarito Cotto.
Where's the end-swell? Okay. Give me some water. Come on, this time your punches should be solid punches, power punches. Come on, your punches are slow. They have to be more powerful. Hold the water, I'm going to put medicine. Come on, Cotto, let's go for it. Box him.
This is very interesting. You see Margarito landing all of the punches with pressure at one point, and always as usual. Cotto even tired, exhausted, looked like he's about to quit, still comes back with the clean punches.
Harold Letterman, who'd you give the ninth to?
I gave it to Miguel Cotto. 86-85, 5 rounds to 4. Miguel Cotto. Jim, I got to tell you, he started very, very early, Cotto. In the first 5 rounds, I thought he won 4 of them. And then, Antonio Margarito took the fight over. He tracked him down, got him up on the ropes, hammered him with that great uppercut. But all of a sudden, in the 10th round, Miguel Cotto just outpunched him. I thought there was no question that Cotto had in the 9th round, probably. I thought he had a very, very good 9th round. So I've got Miguel Cotto up 1 point, 5 rounds to 4, 86-85.
We've got 3 veteran Las Vegas judges at ringside tonight with a tough job in front of them as we come down the stretch. We've got a wildly enthusiastic crowd, mostly favoring Antonio Margarito, but with a liberal distribution of Cotto fans, some of whom have made the trip from Puerto Rico and New York. We've got a great fight through 9 rounds, as everyone expected would be the case.
But when you look at the fact that Cotto got about 5 rounds almost in the bank early in the fight, there has not been a knockdown still officially. The fight very close, and Cotto very well could still be ahead on points.
As he is on Harold Letterman's card, Emmanuel. Power shots in the 9th round. Cotto 21 out of 45. Margarito 25 out of 80. Cotto landing 30 total punches in the round. There's a big left-hand shot by Cotto, but he's satisfied to land the 1 punch and back away.
Well, with Margarito, if you stick around to land the 2nd and 3rd, you're going to get hit in exchange.
Another huge left hook by Miguel Cotto. And again, he uses his feet to move away after that. Margarito hasn't been able to land an authoritative punch for the last 2 rounds.
No, the clean, head snapping, going back punches are almost always landed by Cotto. Unless you're just doing those judges.
Good right hand there by Cotto. He's doing a pretty good job of blocking and ducking and slipping too, Emmanuel. I mean, you talked about Margarito's defense early on. I've been impressed with Cotto's defense since he's been under pressure from the middle part of the fight.
Yes, this is maybe one of his best defensive fights since he's fought. He get nowhere near as much as he did with Shane Mosley, but Shane had fast hands too.
This is so far another round like the 9th. Margarito pressuring and pressuring, Cotto taking advantage of it to land clean shots.
And unlike a lot of boxer types who control the action with their skill, it is Cotto still, to my eye, who's landing the harder shots, but it's like hitting a brick wall that continues to close in.
Margarito with one of his patented rallies. And Cotto just backs away without trying to answer it. Margarito getting the better of him here.
This goes up until this one.
Cotto's hurt. Cotto's hurt.
I had Cotto winning this round up until this last flurry.
And now Cotto ties Margarito up, acknowledging perhaps that he was hurt on that flurry, and he lands a big right hand to end the round. Tough round to score.
Vamos arriba, Judito. No te dejes robar los asaltos, ¿ok? No te dejes robar los asaltos.
Don't let him rob the rounds. Don't let him rob the rounds, okay? We need these last 2 rounds. Come on, 2 more. You hear me? I'm here, I understand. Come on. Pop the punches, you're waiting too much.
You see, in the round, as I said earlier, I had Cotto waited around. Even though he's tired and fatigued, he was landing the clean, effective blows. In fact, but then as the round goes on, here comes Margarito with this sort of accumulation of punches where eventually he started to penetrate and landing his shots. Rough round to score.
Our shots in round 10 by CompuBox count. Cotto 13 out of 25, Margarito 22 out of 58. Margarito landed 15 power shots in the last minute of the round. Harold Letterman gave the round to Margarito, and the fight is even on his scorecard through 10. A brewing classic in Las Vegas.
And when you look at Cotto's face, he looks like the loser.
But then he explodes out of nowhere again.
But just the judges looking at his face and people watching, looking at Cotto's face, he looks like the guy who's taken the beating.
And we know that could be a big factor sometimes, too. Not just the face, but the facial expression even for the most part.
11th round of a scheduled 12.
I mean, we know Cotto's heavy-handed, and we see him landing these titanic shots, and they don't seem to faze Margarito
at all.
He's landed the big, clean, head-snapping punches, but never has Margarito been hurt or in trouble in this fight.
And it's Cotto who's bleeding from the nose and the mouth, and who's been retreating throughout the entire fight. These are big mental impressions for judges.
Those little Margarito short shots on the inside now, Emmanuel.
Oh, yeah.
And Cotto goes to a knee. Succumbing to the pressure, much the way Zab Judah succumbed to the pressure against him last year. And that knockdown could ultimately be the difference in the fight.
Yeah.
Antonio Margarito has finally gotten his man to bend. Miguel Cotto getting beaten up by a bigger man.
It's over. It's over.
He's exhausted, and it's almost over. The punishment has accumulated to the point where Cotto has nothing left. There's no point in Kenny Bayless allowing this to proceed.
No, it's over. It's over.
And Evangelista Cotto's going to throw in the towel. And Antonio Margarito has the victory he's been waiting for all his life.
That is a modern boxing classic.
An epic fight with an epic conclusion. The first loss of Cotto's career. And another triumph for Mexico in the ongoing war with Puerto Rico.
Jim, you said it. It went from an exhibition of skill to an exhibition of will.
Just as Salvador Sanchez out-willed Wilfredo Gomez, just as Julio Cesar Chavez chopped down Edwin Rosario and Hector Camacho, so too does Antonio Margarito finally chop down Miguel Cotto. Emmanuel, let's take a look at the closing sequence, and this is just a case of Miguel Cotto succumbing to the constant pressure. 2 uppercuts. Incidentally, Margarito hit him while he was down. That's supposed to be a big thing here in Vegas, right?
Yep. But right here, the left uppercut, which I always thought was the most effective punch all night for him. And that's a punch that, continuing at his career, Cotto's got hit with.
There's the punch that hits Cotto on the ear very clearly while his knee is down. Now here's the end. as Cotto goes down again of his own volition. And as Margarito proceeds to keep throwing, this time Kenny Bayless steps in and prevents any more harm. And Evangelista Cotto, Miguel's uncle, got up onto the apron and tossed in a towel, recognizing what everyone else at ringside could see, that Cotto was finished. Now watch Evangelista Cotto on the far side, on the apron on the right, as he waves the towel and lets Bayless know that they're done.
Well, actually, Cotto had told him, I'm done. All he had to do was the fight himself said, stop the fight, I'm through. But anyway, it was an exciting night. Good win for Margarito, and a very still credible performance from Miguel Cotto.
I think Cotto was done after the first knockdown. Bayless simply didn't recognize it. And now let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on this epic knockout performance by Antonio Margarito.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes, 5 seconds. Round number 11, the winner by TKO victory. Now a 3-time welterweight champion of the world, the Tijuana Tornado, Antonio Margarito.
So Antonio Margarito, dominant in the end, as he is the champion in the welterweight division with a spectacular performance against Miguel Cotto. We are back live here in Las Vegas at the Palms as we get set for our live main event, 12-round welterweight showdown. Zab Judah with his camp firmly ensconced in the locker room, going through the final mental preparations. Relaxed, loose, in tremendous shape as he gets set to take center stage tonight here on HBO's Boxing After Dark. Joshua Clottey in a final team prayer. Body 34-2 with 21 knockouts as he tries to vault himself into the welterweight picture. Coming up, our main event on HBO's Boxing After Dark, Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey. And we're back here at ringside. Bob Papa, so glad you can join us. What a fight between Antonio Margarito and Miguel Cotto. You take a look at that fight and the way it all unfolded, and Cotto having the edge early on. We'll take a look at some CompuBox graphics from the fight. And through the first 6 rounds, Miguel Cotto was accurate. He was busy. He was landing at a very good percentage. But that all started to change in the second half of the fight. Rounds 7 through 11, the pressure that Antonio Margarito put on Miguel Cotto at the beginning of each round, backing him up, throwing 91 punches around, limiting Cotto's offense as the fight wore on, and he just broke him down as Antonio Margarito walks away with the championship in one of the most spectacular performances that you'll ever want to see in the ring. And we are joined here at ringside by Antonio Margarito. And Antonio, when you take a look at that fight and you see the CompuBox numbers, did you get a sense that Miguel Cotto was starting to wear down in the second half of the fight?
Cuando ves esos números te das cuenta que ya estaba decayendo.
Bueno, sí, realmente después de que pasó el sexto empecé a conectar buenos golpes y fue cuando empezó a aflojar.
I think in the 6th round, I noticed that he wasn't throwing as much as he was throwing before. He was slowing down, and I took advantage of it.
Were you surprised that you were able to back him up as consistently as you did?
¿Te sorprendió la manera en que lo pudiste hacerlo para atrás, echarlo para atrás durante la pelea?
No, bueno, era el plan. Sabíamos que íbamos a meter mucha presión, a tirar bastantes golpes. Sabíamos que era más rápido, pero cuando conectaron nuestros golpes lo íbamos a dañar.
The strategy was to, stay with him, just pressure him. We knew eventually he was faster than us, but we knew eventually he was going to break down, and he did.
All right, the public wants to know, what is next for Antonio Margarito?
¿Qué sigue para Antonio Margarito?
Bueno, vamos a platicar con la empresa, pero espero y Oscar cumpla su promesa que hizo y ojalá y pues Oscar de la Hoya sea el próximo y no corra, ¿no?
I hope, we're going to talk to the company, see what they decide, but I hope it's Oscar de la Hoya. I hope he doesn't run away from me.
Have you reached out to the De La Hoya camp yet?
¿Han hablado con ellos acerca de la pelea?
Bueno, no, vamos a sentarnos con la empresa y vamos a platicar y ojalá y se pueda realizar esa pelea.
We're hoping that it'll be done. We're going to be talking to them, and that's a fight I really like to do.
Now, I know he's retired, but have there been any overtures by your camp to see if you can get Floyd Mayweather out of retirement?
A Floyd Mayweather, aunque esté retirado, ¿te gustaría que saliera?
Bueno, Floyd Mayweather no quiso pelear, parece que no creo que quiera pelear, tiene miedo, otro peleador que tiene miedo.
I think we already know Floyd's answer before. You know, he didn't want to fight me before, he's not going to fight me now.
What about the winner of Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey tonight? You've already fought Clottey, you've already beaten him, but is that something that interests you?
¿Te interesa enfrentar al ganador de esta pelea?
Bueno, vamos a platicar con la empresa a ver qué es lo que tiene, pero no quito el dedo del renglón. Oscar había declarado que le gustaba el ganador de nuestra pelea, así es que ojalá y cumpla.
You know, I'm not going to make plans or say this or that. All I know is that Oscar once said, I'll fight the winner of the fight. Guess who won?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Gracias.
All right, Antonio Margarito. Well, you heard it. He wants Oscar De La Hoya. That's the fight that he wants. Max Kellerman was at ringside. HBO boxing analyst joins us here tonight for our live fight. Max, you take a look at Antonio Margarito, the way he was able to wear down and walk down Miguel Cotto. What has it done to the welterweight landscape?
Not just the welterweight landscape, but Margarito's savage performance sent shockwaves that are still reverberating throughout boxing. Let's start with Oscar De La Hoya, who has always looked, a fearless champion. De La Hoya has always looked for the biggest, baddest challenge he can find. After watching Margarito destroy Cotto, De La Hoya is looking for the smallest challenge, physically at least, in the Filipino superstar Manny Pacquiao, guy who came from flyweight up to lightweight, still not really a welterweight. Now Floyd Mayweather Jr. Floyd retired ostensibly because the stated reason was that his legacy is secure, he has nothing left to prove. Floyd, while that's true in the lighter weight classes, at welterweight, the perception is you did not take on your toughest challenges and in fact ducked them. Antonio Margarito, after that performance against Miguel Cotto, people are talking in barbershops, street corners, around the country. In this one and in Mexico, Floyd Mayweather not only doesn't want to fight Margarito, but can't beat him. Floyd, if you retired because you feel that your legacy is secure, you need to unretire to secure it. If, on the other hand, you retire because your interest in boxing has waned, in that case, stay retired. Because no one with 1 foot in boxing and 1 foot out should tangle with the new welterweight champion of the world.
Well, there's one other name that you could throw into this mix, someone that's already beaten Antonio Margarito. Paul Williams is another name that's going to factor into all
and
this.
He has a legitimate claim. If there's anyone with a claim to the welterweight title not named Antonio Margarito, the only guy out there is Paul Williams.
It's going to be fun for the fans to see this all settled into the ring. Well, it's time to take a look at the HBO sports calendar as we get set for our main event this evening. On Wednesday night, it's the premiere of Hard Knocks, training camp with the Dallas Cowboys. Follow America's team for 5 weeks as the stories, dramas, and controversies of training camp play out in front of the cameras. On August the 26th, on the next Real Sports with Brian Gumbel, a look at how Donald Trump is fighting opposition to his plans to build a new golf course on the pristine dunes along the Scottish coastline. September the 6th, on the next Boxing After Dark, lightweights Juan Diaz and Michael Katsidis meet in the ring, both looking to rebound from their first professional losses. September 13th on HBO pay-per-view, it's Joel Casamayor facing Juan Manuel Marquez. On September the 27th on World Championship Boxing, a 154-pound matchup between Shane Mosley and Ricardo Mayorga. And on September 30th, a special edition of Costas Now, featuring an hour with baseball's 2 greatest living players, Hank Aaron and Willie Mays. For all that and more, log on to HBO.com. So we heard from Antonio Margarito, the welterweight champion of the world. As Max mentioned, you can make a claim for Paul Williams. Tonight, Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey are fighting in a 12-round bout for a belt. But they're just trying to earn their way into the picture, being put in the conversation where they could be listed as a possible opponent for an Antonio Margarito. Margarito is viewed as the welterweight champion of the world, and tonight 2 guys are going to try to fight their way at least into the conversation. We're joined here at ringside by former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world and HBO boxing analyst Lennox Lewis. And Lennox, when you take a look at Zab Judah, this is a guy born and raised in Brooklyn. Back in November, he moved here to Las Vegas full-time. He says he's refocused. Are you buying it?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that says they're refocused and actually came to the mecca of boxing, which is here, they're really taking it serious. And this is a great place to take it serious too, because there's no nightclubs. You have to focus on boxing. And he said for anybody out there that's looking to see him get tired, he's in great shape and they're going to be waiting a long time. So he's very happy about being here. And he said what really made him stand up and notice is because his daughter came to him and said that, you know, she's going to be wanting a car soon. And he said, well, you know, she's only 16. So, you know, he really opened up and said he had to focus on his fight and make some money.
Yeah, his daughter is going to turn 16. She's taking driver's ed classes. She said, I'm going to get my permit. Dad, you got to get back to work and start focusing. He's going to do that. Max Kellerman rejoins us here at ringside. Max, Joshua Clottey is someone that, you know, went 12 rounds with Antonio Margarito. He's got a very good resume, but it always seems like he's just below the surface. How does he fit into all this, and can he be a live challenge here for Zab Judah tonight?
Absolutely. In fact, I think most in boxing feel that this fight will ultimately be, again, between Clottey and Judah, will ultimately be a celebration of substance, Joshua Clottey, over style, Zab Judah. Thing is, Zab Judah used to be the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. And you can't get to be that with smoke and mirrors alone. You just watched Margarito beat Cotto, Antonio Margarito become welterweight champ because he wanted it more than the other guy. Zab Judah says a loss at this point in his career would be tragic. He told us that yesterday. Who wants it more? Who in the end, Bob, really wants it more? That will decide this fight.
Well, we have 12 rounds to decide it. We're getting set for the main event. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey. Both men will turn 31 in the month of October. Height negligible, reach slight advantage for Clottey. At the weigh-in, Judah 143 pounds, Clottey 147. Clottey is rehydrated, some 9 pounds. Judah has added 4 on. Now time for the rules with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Zab Judah Joshua Clottey fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. In case it is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards after 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell of any round, including the 12th and final round. Bob!
And here comes Zab Super Judah. Max, he was supposed to fight Shane Mosley. He had to get 50 stitches in his right arm. He hasn't been in the ring since last November, but he's in great shape. He seems very relaxed, and he seems the same old confident Zab Judah.
You know, Zab Judah was criticized in the past for beating the likes of Omar Weiss and Junior Witter and Mickey Ward in ways that people felt weren't as dominant as they should have been given his talent. Once upon a time, Judah would be a heavy favorite over someone like Clottey. Those days have passed, but Bob, if he looks good here tonight, if he escapes even with a win, Margarito will likely be next.
Lennox, he told us he's going to go back to his Mickey Ward style. Forget about trying to knock people out. He fought Mickey Ward in 1998. Can you get seduced by the power when you start putting people to sleep?
Yeah, I mean, if you go in there and you're knocking out guys in the first round, then that seems easy. You don't really have to do a lot of work. So the next fight that you go in, that's what you want to do. But a lot of guys are difficult to knock out in the first round. So that's what he had problems with, because you can't knock out everybody in the first round. You got kind of relaxed. Now he said to himself he wants to refocus and go in there and throw more combinations and start off and use his jab a lot more. So this is what we expect in this fight.
A very confident Zab Judah, 30 years of age, into the ring, awaiting his opponent tonight. Joshua Clottey got under Zab Judah's skin leading up to this, making all kinds of boastful claims that he's going to handle him with ease and that he's not worried about him. Normally it's Judah that gets under the other guy's skin, but it seems to have worked in reverse, Max.
The skin, I don't think here is as important as the chin. Zab has had his chin dented, and Clottey can punch.
Joshua Clottey's nickname is the Heater. Since he's been in the United States, it's been morphed into the Hitter. He says he prefers the Heater. Lennox, does he have enough heat to extinguish Zab Judah?
Absolutely. This This guy is always in great shape, and he's a really nice young man as well, and he's always going to keep the pressure. And when it comes to defense, he's got great defense as well. It's really tight. He'll rather let you throw punches, and he'll rather block him and come back. But he's definitely going to be in good shape. He's not going to tire, and he's coming to win.
You guys like the hitter or the heater better?
I like the heater.
I like the hitter. I like the mistranslation better, I think.
It's the heater because it's always getting warmer and warmer.
You know, we asked him about his purse for this fight, which is sizable but not off the charts, and he said, hey, listen, until I'm a champion of the world, I don't have any right to complain. He's been saving all his money to build a house back in Ghana, and he says, my time will come. My time will come.
And it may be right now. Joshua Clottey, I have considered over the last year, year and a half, an elite welterweight in a very, very good welterweight division. He has a chance here to cement that claim tonight.
All right, we are set for our main event. Time for the formal introductions. Here's our ring announcer, Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Pearl at the Palms Resort and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada, we welcome you to an evening of Boxing After Dark being brought to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated, in association with La Cerveza Tecate, Tecate Cerveza with Attitude, Affliction Clothing, and HBO Sports. These bouts are being sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman is John Bailey. Commissioners, Skip Avancino Jr., Bill Brady, TJ Day, and Pat Lundvall. Executive Director is Keith Kaiser. Keeping track of time and knockdowns, we have Steve Esposito along with Mike Lasella. And our physicians at ringside, Doctors James Game, David Watson, Al Campana, and Damon Zavala. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant IBF Welterweight Championship of the World. Supervising for the IBF, Al Lucas. The judges scoring the bout should it reach the distance. From Nevada, Dwayne Ford. From Pennsylvania, George Hill. And also out of Nevada, Glenn Trowbridge. Third man in the ring, referee Robert Bird. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the fighter in the blue corner. He steps into the ring clad in burgundy trunks trimmed in black. He weighed in officially at 143 pounds. As a professional, he has compiled an impressive record consisting of 36 victories, with only 5 losses, 25 victories by way of knockout, and 2 no contests, including 4 world titles. The former junior welterweight, former undisputed welterweight, and former super welterweight champion of the world. Representing Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York, Zab Judah. His opponent across the ring in the red corner. He steps in wearing the colors of his homeland, red, gold, and green. He weighed in at the welterweight limit of 147 pounds, with a professional record consisting of 34 victories, with only 2 losses, 21 of those victories coming by way of knockout, and 1 no contest. The #1 ranked welterweight contender in the world, fighting out of Accra, Ghana, Joshua Clottey.
One and one.
All right, Mr. Judah, Mr. Clottey, I want to make one thing perfectly clear.
This fight will be cleanly, competitively contested. Nothing else will be acceptable. If I tell you to stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing, give me a clean break. Protect yourselves at all times. Let's do it.
Given Zab Judah's rules infractions of the past, the referee's instructions seem to be directed directly at him. Does Zab have the discipline to box patiently for 12 rounds? Does Clottey have the speed to catch Zab Judah?
Clottey told us, I've trained to stand on him. Stay on him early. I bet you I'll even split the early rounds with him, and then I'll take over. Judah, weighed in at 143 pounds, he said, if this guy and his entire game plan is just waiting for me to get tired, he's in for a lot of trouble. We are underway. Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey. You've seen Judah before get off to the fast starts and then fade. Says it will be different tonight. Sticks a left hand to the body of Clottey.
That's important for Zab to get his punches in there early, because he said he wants to start fast. And while Clottey's waiting for him to get tired, you know, he's already up on the rounds, and that's what he wants to do, get a lot of rounds in the bank.
Right away, Zab is throwing the right jab as opposed to just pawing with it, waiting to counter with the left uppercut, as he frequently does. But Clottey, with his hands high and his elbows tucked, is picking that jab off.
Well, we heard from Judah and how much better shape he's in and more focused and more disciplined. About 10 minutes ago, I was in the hallway and I ran into Kevin Kelly, the former champ, Flushing Flash, and he said he's been sparring with Judah, and he said, Bob, I'm telling you, he really has gotten better and he's sharper. We'll find out if it plays out in the ring.
Stop. Stop.
Again, it's Judah trying to work the jabs. According to the CompuBox numbers, he's thrown 35 jabs already here in round one.
Watch your feet, guys. Watch your feet.
I think the jab is a prime weapon for Zab, because he's used it in his past fights, and it's always helped him to set up his combination punching, and it helps him to develop into the fight and set the pace for the fight as well.
Although there we saw, I think, a dangerous signal from Zab, maybe frustrated that the jab isn't landing. He looked simply to counter with a left uppercut, catch Clottey coming in. We see Zab use that to great effect early in fights, and then if he can't take his guy out of there, kind of stops boxing.
Clottey has not shown much offense here in round number one, which he did tell us. He said, you know, we'll see how it's going in round one, and then we'll make the adjustment necessary.
Yeah, I never really judge a person in the first round, always after the second round, because the first round is always a warm-up, test-out round to see what the other person's doing.
Judah using his jab here in round number one. And then he ties up Clottey, who tries to bore his way in.
You're doing good. You're doing good. You're doing good. Let the left touch him. Let the left touch him. That's how you go forward and let your left go. Let your left go. Try and cut him off. 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 And then when you cut him off, and then correct you with the left, and then what? Go to the body. Go to the body. Go to the body.
Keith, you got that right? Yeah. Head back, no cut. Speed back in. Taking the circles up the ropes.
So he gets set for the start of round number 2. Zab Judah, although not landing at a high percentage, used his jab in round number 1. That was the extent of his offense. Let's see what kind of adjustment now Clottey would make against the southpaw Judah. Well, the 65 punches thrown in round number 1 by Judah, 57 of them were jabs. Lennox, what should Clottey start doing? We've seen Judah work the jab. What should Clottey do now to get his offense out of the barn and going?
Well, you know, when you look at both boxers, Zab Judah has more natural boxing ability and quickness. Clottey is a little stiff than he should be. That's why he needs to get that jab going. But like I said, I told you his defense is very tight. He'd rather receive a punch on his arms while he's blocking his head and come back. That's his style of boxing. Not necessarily, it's very effective for him, but you know, whether it's effective in this fight, you're gonna have to see it later on in the rounds.
Yeah, during our fighter meeting, Jesse, he held up both of his hands. He just had his forearms there and said, right here. He's gonna hit that a lot. Digs to the body for the left hand. Does Clottey.
I believe Clottey should be given even more pressure on Zab, push him right against the ropes.
Let's not forget, Josh Clottey is someone who was beating Antonio Margarito toe-to-toe over the first half of their fight, claimed he injured his hands over the second half, and that's what slowed him down. Nevertheless, he fought Antonio Margarito close and tough.
I believe he went for a 5-mile run before that as well.
Clottey's 2 losses to Margarito and to Carlos Baldemir. He was disqualified for a clash of heads in a fight that he had the lead in.
See, Clottey's trying to get Zab to throw some punches and waste his energy. But while Zab's throwing the punches, he needs to block him and come back.
Not enough transition between offense and defense, or defense and then offense.
He's almost blocking it and then deciding, okay, now I'm going to start some offense. But he should be doing that, you know, straight away.
All things considered, guys, these two are really both natural counter-punchers, and they're making a pretty decent fight so far through a round and a half, 2 rounds, considering that they both like to wait for their opponent to lead.
Clottey shoots a couple of right hands. Again, Judah back with the jab, doubling and tripling up with the jab. Clottey wide with that left hook.
Break clean, no punching. Step back.
See, Clottey's stepping in, he's close to Judah. He should be throwing more punches. He's actually stepping and not throwing the punches.
You got to keep boxing. Give me the towel. Wipe your nose. Let me see. No good. You look good. Rafi on the grease on his face. Oh, you got him. Here, give me water. Yo, how you feel? Good. Listen, you got to keep boxing. He's trying to get you in little corners on the rope, and he's trying to go off. He's throwing one shot at a time. Yeah. Jab, a hook, a straight. He do this here. He leads with the right hand. So keep your hands up. You all right? What's the matter? Yeah. He know. Just jab. You got 2 in the back. Yeah. All right. Just keep boxing. Don't let him smoke. But yo, when he come in, make him feel it. Boom, sometimes boom. Then look, I want that left hand right there.
Let your punches slide. Let it go down. Let it go down. Don't let it slide. Keep going to the body. He can't take it no more. He can't take the body shots. You're good with the body shots. Can't take that.
So the corner of Joshua Clottey saying, work that body. Work that body. Let's see if he can work that body. Zab Judah has used his jab. He threw 57 jabs in round 1, 51 jabs in round number 2. Sticks a right hand and then moves away, does Judah. Clottey blocking most of that. And they get tangled up. Judah, the combination, some of it blocked, but it excites the crowd.
See, for Joshua Clottey, he needs to be going to the body a lot more, because right now he's just headhunting. And I know he's going to find more openings if he goes to the body and then the head.
Right hand did snap back the head of.
And he did say in the fighters meeting that he's going to go to the body a lot more.
Your hands free. There you go.
So we're still waiting to see it.
We're starting to see Clottey's straighter, more technically correct punches do some damage on Judah.
Why don't you get out? Hands free. In that body.
There he chops a couple of lefts at Judah.
Stop. Let him out. Here we go.
That's what Clottey said. One of the things that he felt would work in his advantage. Judah can get a little wide with his punches, and my straight punches will find the mark. Judah keeps circling to his right.
Let him up. Stop. Step out.
Zab, for all of his did you see that kind of defensive maneuvers that he's able to pull off, is hittable. He pulls straight back from punches. His feet at times get too close together, and he suffers from the curse of the gifted. He's able to get away with things. Against world-class fighters, elite fighters like Josh Clottey, it can cost him.
And Clottey's doing the right thing. If you notice his footwork, his left foot is on the outside of Zab's foot, and he's got Zab in the middle. So anytime he's throwing punches, Zab is in the pocket to receive them. When Zab really needs to put that right foot on the outside of Joshua Clottey's feet and stay away from him. He'll get away from his punches a lot quicker.
Nice defensive move there by Judah to get off the ropes before Clottey could provide an assault.
That's what I mean, Bob. He makes that nice kind of eye-catching move. Meanwhile, Clottey is landing that straight right hand against the southpaw Judah in a textbook way, and Judah's face is starting to show some of the results.
See, where Clottey has his feet, that's the right place to have it, on the southpaw, on the outside.
Clottey with a reaching right hand as we come to the end of the third round, scheduled for 12. Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey.
When you go to the body, bring it up, and also use the left, use the right. Go through, punch through with the right hand, go through with the right hand. The right hand, go to the body, and then use the right hand right through. Let the right hand come up. Let it come up. All right.
Cotto will come behind the head. The ear, hit the ear. You can go behind the head. Here you go, all right? Feint, go around the ear. Come up the knees. Roll. Hey, you can stay with him.
He wants to block over there.
Yeah, he want to block. He want to counterpunch. That's what he do. Come on. But don't give it to him. When you get in the ropes, shoot. Get out. Second out, come on, baby. You're in good shape. Keep up. Second out, mouthpiece.
Zab Judah and Joshua Clottey getting ready to embark upon round number 4. Judah has used his jab so far in the fight effectively. Let's get Harold Letterman's scorecard.
Okay, Bob, I got it 2 rounds to 1. 29-28, Zab Judah. Bob, I got to tell you something. To me, Joshua Clottey's fighting like a guy that's in a major fight and doesn't want to fight. I mean, for 2 rounds, he did nothing but stand there and look at the guy. In the 3rd round, he landed some nice right hands. I thought he may have eked out Zab in the 3rd round, but Zab's doing all the fighting in this fight. Clottey's doing this, just what you see. I mean, this is a major fight, guys. Come to fight. 2-1, Judah.
Good right hook to the body, then Clottey followed back up with a right hand of his own.
You know, something about what Harold just said. Clottey is a natural counterpuncher and has always looked better when a fighter comes to him. Judah's elusive style and hand speed in the early part of the fight, people anticipated maybe Clottey wouldn't look great. It's by the middle rounds, as we're starting to see in the last 2 rounds. Still kind of early, actually.
Correct.
Where Clottey was expected to do better, and he is.
Clottey's complaining about a low blow. Referee Robert Bird says, fight on. Looks like that angered Clottey as he stepped in with a 1-2. Well, we've seen Zab Judah look very good in early parts of fights before.
I'm going to go back to the footwork again, because when Zab is trying to get away, he has to step over Clottey's foot to get out of there. And if he doesn't step over his foot, he's going to trip.
Judah's face is a little bit of a mess already. Someone's landing punches in his face.
Just spit out a little blood, too. Did Zab Judah. Nice combination by Clottey. Judah ducks away from danger.
We also do see a little bit of a different Zab Judah here in the sense that in the past when he's been hit like this, he stops fighting. Here, he's fighting hard.
But he's in this round, he has taken some good right hands. There's an uppercut from Clottey, just short with the right. Tries a right cross that Judah turned away from. And you see blood coming from the nose of Judah. Right hand again from Clottey.
See Zab still staking out the center of the ring, still throwing punches with mustard on them.
The heavier punches of Clottey starting to wear on Judah.
And the cleaner punches, Bob. He's landing the clean shots, Josh Clottey is.
End of round number 4 in this 12-round welterweight showdown. Earlier tonight, we got to look at lightweight prospect Anthony Peterson out of Washington, D.C. He's 23 years of age, 27-0 with 19 knockouts coming into the action tonight, taking on veteran Javier Jauregui of Guadalajara, Mexico. 53 wins, although the prime of Jauregui's career came at a much lighter weight. He was campaigning at lightweight. Peterson, with good footwork throughout the course of the fight, won a unanimous decision against Javier Jauregui to pick up his 28th career win against no defeats.
And when you get low, when you get inside, get low. Keep hitting him behind the ear. Right there. Up to the rib. Behind the ear. Run the uppercut. Let's go. Run it.
Seconds out. Seconds out. Mouthpiece, mouthpiece. Round 5, guys. Round 5.
Round number 5 underway. Joshua Clottey's heavier punches exacting a toll on Zab Judah over the last round and a half. Lennox, is Clottey still a little too focused on hitting Judah in the head and not concentrating on some body work?
Well, you know, he should be hitting him more in the body, but Judah's very elusive, and he's not an easy guy to hit. So, you know, Clottey, I notice, waits till he gets right close to him before he really throws a lot of punches. But he wants to make sure that he hits Judah, so he's really being sparingly with his punches. Clottey does a nice move where he comes out with a quick right hand and try and catches Zab by surprise, and it's worked a couple times.
Clottey now works the body after Judah scored a combination. Zab goes straight back, but Clottey didn't make him pay that time.
What we're seeing here is a superior boxer, Josh Clottey, beating up a superior athlete in Zab Judah. Zab is trying to do all the right things. He's throwing the jab oftentimes, not just pawing with it. He's going to the body with both hands, as he just did. He's staking out the middle of the ring. He may just not have the tools in that toolbox to get the job done against an elite welterweight like Clottey.
You see Clottey, when Zab comes with that right hook, he just kind of like smiles at you and comes right back.
Good left and right to the body by Clottey.
It's easy to always think that if only the more talented guy would apply himself, and Judah's more talented. But at this point in their careers, it's not as though Judah is going to become more skilled suddenly than a craftsman like Clottey.
Watch your hands, watch your hands.
Judah just stepped in nicely with a lead left to the body.
Let him go, Vlad. Let him go. Let him go. Punch him out.
Easy to think the heavily muscled Clottey with a nickname The Hitter is just a puncher, but he is a skilled counter puncher. And here, an effective, aggressive pressure fighter.
And he reaches with that right hand.
And you know, he does it at a perfect time. He does it when Zab kind of sits back and and puts down his hand a bit, and then Clottey comes with that overhand right.
It says on the back of Clottey's trunks, hitter. He said because of the accent, people have mistaken heater for hitter, but he's started to turn up the heat and he's starting to hit. Zab digs with a combination to punctuate the end of round number 5. Clottey waves him off.
Joshua, you're waiting for him. You're waiting too much. You're waiting too. You have the advantage. You have the advantage. Go to the body. You're going to the body. Go to the body. He can take the body shots. You're going here and left. Get him in the head and the body. The head goes, the body goes. The head goes, the body goes. But you're waiting too much. You're making too much. You're waiting.
Keep the punches up. He's leaping. He's coming. He's leaping with that right hand. That's all he got. Right hand or hook.
Exactly like you're doing.
Give me the time. Look at him. It's good, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Speed killer.
No. Speed. You just speed and box that sharp. Don't stand there, bang.
Round 6. Round 6. We're halfway.
Round number 6 underway for Joshua Clottey and Zab Judah. Welterweights. 12 rounds to decide it. Bob Papa, Lennox Lewis, Max Kellerman, ringside here at the Palms in Las Vegas. Started the evening off with a rebroadcast of Cotto Margarito. Antonio Margarito here watching this fight.
See what Zab is doing there. This is great. Turning, throw a combination, again, get out of the way. Always keeping moving. You know, this is the first time in the 6th round I've seen Zab hold, so he's getting a little wary in there. But he's been throwing a lot of punches as well. He's in against a strong man, Joshua Clottey. Always in your face. He's coming at you, and he's got a great defense. Most of the time when Zab throws a punch and he's hitting Joshua's hands, he's got to find that open spot and try and hit it.
You free up your hands, guys.
Judah doubles up that right hand. Fires a left. Here's some of the defense of Clottey.
This is as good as Zab Judah can fight, and he's fighting really well right now. And it just has the feeling of Margarito and Cotto last week, where the more talented, more elusive athlete is being broken down by the tougher.
Judah a little low with that punch. And Clottey's going to get time to regroup. Referee Robert Bird has not deducted a point. And Clottey showing his true temperament, does not milk it. He says, I'm fine now, let's go. Well, Max, you were ringside last week. We saw that even when Cotto was winning a round, he was getting broken down. It reminded me of Meldrick Taylor, Julio Cesar Chavez, the first fight back in 1990.
And Cotto's face resembled Judah's around the same point of the fight. You know, that said, this is a good, honest effort by Zab Judah. He is trying to make the most of this opportunity. Of course, with the welterweight champion Antonio Margarito watching, even if Zab could somehow figure out a way to win this fight, does anyone think that he has a chance if fed to the animal Margarito?
Straight right from Clottey. Judah rips a right and a left, hooks to the body and scores. Clottey blocks that entire sequence to the head.
See, Zab's throwing some great shots, but they're being blocked, and he's using up a lot of energy up against Clottey's arms, and they're going to take effect later on down the road.
That said, he won that round. Judah did.
All right, Clottey said he got hit low. Take a look at it right here. was under the belt line. It was on the hip, but it looked like it was under the belt line. Referee Robert Bird gave Clottey time to regroup.
Step around. Listen, you're getting hit with lead right here because you pull him straight back. You ready? Hit him out. Don't put. When you get through, drop. Stay low. When he come in, meet him, drop. Just stay low. Circles all day. That's all you got to do. Come on with that jab. Start with the jab, and finish with it.
Feel good, Zab. Feel good. Boxing.
Yeah, Joshua, you're playing the wedding game. You got to let your hand go left and right. You got to double up. You're playing the wedding game. You got to be serious. It looks like you're playing game.
So Joshua Clottey and Zab Judah getting set for the start of round number 7. Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored?
Okay, Bob, 3 rounds apiece, 57-57. I got it all even. You know, Bob, at the end of the day, you score boxing. At the end of the round, you say, who did more damage? And certainly, in rounds 3, 4, and 5, Joshua Clottey, the stronger guy, did more damage. He busted up Zab Judah, won 3 rounds in a row. In round 6, Zab hit him and moved. He gave him angles. He did a nice job, just like Max said. He absolutely won round 6 by hitting him and moving, and that's what he's got to do. Not stand in front of this big, strong guy. 3-3.
All right, Harold, then Clottey got back to what he did in the first 2 rounds, which was ineffective, Lennox, where there was no transition between defense and offense. And there was very little offense.
Well, you know, his trainer told him he needs to start picking it up, and this is the right time to pick it up too. In the 6th round, giving him a little more pressure and moving more after Zab.
I mean, Zab is digging some terrific body shots, especially the right hook to the body. And really not going gently into that night. What's the line, Bob? Robert Frost.
Do not go
gently into that good night. That's right. He's not going gently.
I got you.
And in fact, over the last round and a half, it doesn't seem like he's going at all, and that's to Zab's credit.
It reminds me of a comment you made in the rebroadcast that you made live last week, in the sense that Cotto was hitting Margarito with the cleaner shots, but Margarito was taking them better than Cotto was taking Margarito's shots.
That does seem to be the difference here. Zab badly hurting in the corner now.
Clottey puts together a combination, but Judah does a nice move there to tie up Clottey and get away from danger. Mistake by Clottey.
Tremendous left uppercut from Zab on the inside.
That punch actually missed it. It was almost there, but Clottey caught that on his arms.
I'd hate to get missed by a punch like that, Lennox.
Clottey has to be careful. Although he's applying the pressure, he's still walking straight in.
A better round for Clottey than what we saw in round 6, though. Judah trying to create some angles.
Zab Judah's being the elusive counterpuncher right now, and you know he needs to be applying a little more pressure himself and throwing some combos. Do what he was doing earlier, throwing those combinations and then move and show him a different angle.
Judah ducks away from danger after throwing 2 jabs. Power punches landed in the round according to CompuBox. Clottey with the edge.
Big right hand from Clottey jumping in. It's of course Dylan Thomas and not Robert Frost, Bob, who said do not go gently. But Zab isn't here. He's really showing a lot of heart in this fight, something he's been criticized for in the past.
And to the 7th.
Come on. That's... Let the hands go. Let the hands go. Let the hands go. Let the hands go. Don't wait for him. When you get the chance and you're waiting, you're going to miss it. You'll lose it. Let your hands go. Let your hands go. Let your hands go.
You go straight. You need that lead right here. You got to keep your hands up. You'll catch it all day. All right? You got your left. Right here.
And here we see Clottey throwing those uppercuts in close. Zab had his head straight there, waiting to receive the punches. And here we go with a nice end off with a right hand. And this is a little end of the flurry of the last round.
You know, we talk about the endurance and stamina. Judah talking about not fading. Guys, in the last round, according to CompuBox, Judah threw only 27 punches, and he only threw 18 jabs. In the early part of the fight, he was throwing as many as 50 jabs in a round. Left hand from Clottey to start the round. Tries to measure Judah with a right.
See, the thing here, Judah can't afford to get hit with any silly shots right now because all those shots are going to be taking energy from him, and he needs to conserve his energy against this big, strong man like Joshua Clottey.
See if that conditioning, that newfound focus pays dividends for Judah. Punch output in the last round had quite a drop-off for Judah.
See, this is what Judah should be doing. Drawing that jab, staying out of range, giving him different angles, moving and not getting hit.
In a way, guys, this is Judah's most impressive performance. He's in against a determined, aggressive, strong, top-notch welterweight. And he's not fighting just to show you, look, I'm tough, I'm still fighting. He is trying to win this fight, Zab Judah.
Free up, there you go.
Does he have enough in the tank for 12 rounds?
Speaking of Robert Frost, he has miles to go before he sleeps, Zab Judah. There's a long way to go still.
Judah just missed a counter left hand after Clottey tried to shoot a right. Left hand caught the chin of Judah, then he spins out of danger. Clottey looks unmarked.
See,
undeterred.
Zab's punch count has really gone down low. He needs to get his hands moving again. He's allowing Clottey to impose his will on him.
Free up your hands.
And the blood from the nose of Judah.
When a man's bleeding and also moving around, it makes it very difficult to breathe in there. So he may be having a breathing problem right now. That's why you see Zab's mouth is open a little bit, which is dangerous as well because you don't want to get caught on the chin while your mouth is open.
Zab is still trying to box in circles and turn Clottey. He's working both hands to the body. He's trying to set punches up off his right jab.
Judah with a combination, digs to the body of Clottey. Uppercut was blocked, left hand gets blocked. The crowd loves it, a lot of it blocked. But is he stealing the round? Good finish to the round for Zab Judah.
Great finish for the round.
On August the 8th, catch the premiere of Hard Knocks training camp with the Dallas Cowboys, a 5-week reality series with unprecedented access to the practice fields and meeting rooms as both veterans and rookies fight for roster spots. Wade Phillips and company, T.O., Jerry Jones, don't want to miss it. What happens when Donald Trump invades a small, quiet Scottish coastal town to develop a new golf course? Hear what Donald and residents of the town have to say about it on the next Real Sports on August the 26th.
Don't worry about it. You got about 9 minutes. Just keep boxing. Box.
Joshua, you're delaying, and by delaying, you're giving him the strength. You're giving him the power to come back. You're delaying, Joshua.
Round number 9 in the scheduled 12-rounder. Neither man has been down. Judah had early control using the jab and movement. Clottey started walking him down.
Very impressed with Zab so far. It's just the kind of fight that you'd expect Zab to have the fight beaten out of him in. He's not only fighting and going into the teeth of the storm, but he's maintained his game plan. He's still trying to implement his game plan that he and his camp feel will be a winner. Turning Clottey, boxing in tight circles as best he can. It's an impressive show of determination from Zab Judah.
But is it enough to win?
Let him go, jab.
You know, also, he's showing his experience as well, especially in that last round because, you know, he wanted to win it, and he did. It came in like he almost stole it.
I still gave it to Clottey. I was with Harold on that one. Now it looks like a cut along the right eye of Judah. There's more blood. Yep, cut on the right eyelid. of Zab Judah. And it's being ruled a clash of heads. Robert Berg said an accidental clash of heads. If this fight gets stopped because of that cut, which was ruled accidental clash of heads, they would go to the scorecard since we're past round 4.
I don't know.
Well, you just heard the doctor say he can't see, so the fight is being stopped. Accidental clash of heads. Clottey's camp is rejoicing as if they've won, but they have to go to the scorecards. Clottey is being raised in exultation. The Judah family is up in arms. Clottey has now made a gesture at Judah, which did not endear himself to the Judah clan. You see that cut on the right eye. Robert Byrd said, saw him point to the commission headbutt.
Now the fact that Zab continued to box as well as he could and maybe win some of those middle rounds could come into play.
Harold, I saw Robert Byrd say clash of heads, so despite Clottey's excitement, they got to go to the cards.
If you go to the cards, you got to score the 9th round. You score the partial rounds in a fight like this. Zab Judah did nothing in the 9th round. He absolutely gave that away. So, I mean, it's another round to the back for Joshua Clottey. I think he's had on his scorecards.
CompuBox numbers, Judah only landed 2 of 6 punches in whatever was the 9th round. CompuBox had Clottey 9 of 28 in that round. You see that bad cut opened up over the eye of Judah. And Robert Byrd, the referee, immediately told the commission when he escorted Judah over to the ringside position, it was a clash of heads. It did not come from a punch. Thus, we're going to go to the scorecards. And the 9th round, as Harold told us, is scored. Partial round, not a lot had happened. Judah did almost nothing in the round, 2 of 6, and they were all jabs. Clottey was 8 of 27 on power punches, according to CompuBox, in that 9th round. 9 of 28 overall. So most likely on that partial round, you're going to give that round to Clottey because Judah did almost nothing. We're going to take a look at some replays here. It looks like a headbutt or a clash of heads. It's ruled an accidental clash of heads. Opened up the cut or started the cut originally. The cut is over the right eye of Judah. Or is it this punch coming up right here? Didn't look like Judah at that point had reacted as if there was any cut when the heads came together. Was it that punch right there, that short left hand?
That looked like the punch because of the way how he reacted from that, and he seems like he's shielding that right eye. That was the punch. It was an uppercut.
Good job by our production crew. It didn't look like the clash of heads.
Here it is. Boom.
That left hand.
That was it.
That's where the cut was open. The heads were together earlier, but if there was a cut earlier when the heads were together, Judah might have probably reacted. All right, we go to the scorecards. Partial round scored, the 9th. Let's get the judges' scorecards from our ring announcer, Lupe.